Talk golden to me.
Welcome to another episode of the Talk Golden to Me video podcast show. Your host, Evan Golden, a.k.a. Golden TV, as always, here at the studios at the Berman Law Group here in Boca Raton in our studios. Today's guest is Bella Picard. Thank you for joining us so much.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's such a pleasure. I mean, your story is full of inspiration. I think our viewers and our listeners are going to gravitate towards who you are as a person, what you've been able to overcome. And I think in life, we always dealt some unfortunate situations, right? Roadblocks.
Sure.
And it's how you overcome adversity, what road you're going to go down, how you bounce back. So Bella Picard was one of, and still is, one of the best female athletes in the nation. Unfortunately, she had a devastating injury that put her career and her goals on halt. And she had a lot of choices to make on what road she was going to go down. And she is the true definition of perseverance, strength, and never giving up. So I want to learn from her. I think our viewers and listeners can gravitate towards your story, like I was saying, and really just provide a lot of inspiration and insight on how to overcome when things don't go your way in life, right?
That's literally it. It's like being a child. It really is.
So let's go back. You've always been playing sports your whole life?
Whole life. Didn't pick up a softball bat, though, until I got to high school. Soccer player my whole life. Got softball, full scholarship, off to Philly, going to St. Joe's. Had a bright future, and then boom.
So let's walk me through the accident, because it looked like kind of a normal routine. Were you sliding head first for the base?
The story goes, long story long, I was on first. It was a hit and run play. The batter swung and missed. So I stutter stepped, I guess, and ended up taking off, and the catcher was caught off guard. So she threw it into the base path, and as soon as I went to go dive, I hit head on the shortstop's knee, and it was lights out.
Your forehead face first right into the knee?
They said it was just the top of my head.
But you were in a helmet though, right?
Yeah, but think about it, like when Bay tickles your neck and you're like, eh, like that's literally what happened, but on like a colossal collision scale.
And you were left unconscious right on the field?
Knocked out for like a minute. Yeah, I woke up and I just felt
scary.
like shooting pain in my armpit. And I knew if that wasn't right. Like that was a tough person.
And what was the prognosis? What the doctor say you
broken
sustained?
C5, spinal cord injury. So ever since I've just been fighting.
And what did they tell you? Did they say you may not walk again? Did they? What were they telling you?
They told me maybe in 5 years you'll be walking with a walking aid assistance.
And you were just they were telling you all these scenarios in your mind, you're like, this is not gonna be me.
Yeah, I mean, after the same idiot just got done telling me, the human body, it's so amazing and so intricate that you break one thing, you can't move. So if you're telling me the human body's that amazing and that intricate, why are you telling me I'm never gonna walk again? Made no sense to me. Like genuinely, I was like, no, you're not making any sense, because I had so much faith in a body that I was just so newly broken into, literally and figuratively. So, yeah.
So you weren't taking that for an answer.
No.
What was therapy and rehab like?
So it was April 18th, 2015. The spinal cord injury happened. I ended up getting the spinal fusion a couple days later. So I'm fused C4 to C6, and then I shipped right to Boston, where I'm from. And I rehabbed there for about 2 months. And I've been in rehab ever since. That's why I'm actually down here in Florida.
And you're still having to go to rehab, right? Is it for life ongoing?
The NCAA has been wonderful with the insurance. So as much as I can get in my rehabilitation. So I have drop foot. You like the 2 different shoes, I know.
I noticed that.
Yeah. It's thigh points too, though. It is. So yeah, I'm trying to get my foot to be able to lift up again. You know what, though? If I do get it to lift up and I don't have to wear a leg brace, I'm still doing 2 different colored shoes.
What's the psychology behind that? You just see if people notice it or conversation starter?
I like to see how observant people are. I genuinely do, because it wasn't until I was in a wheelchair I became observant. It really wasn't until I had to be still.
How did your life change after the accident? Was your whole perspective and attitude changed?
I heard myself talk. The one thing that wasn't paralyzed was the thing in my brain that's sad or whatever. And I just remember laying there, and I remember saying, nothing's the same. It was after my family came in to visit me about 2 weeks after my spinal fusion, and their faces were so sad. And I'm like, all right, I can read right through it, cut it out. They leave, and I said, God, what is the same? What is the same? And then I realized I was talking to myself. The same voice that's talking when I'm going up to bat. It's the same voice. And I was like, oh, so that's important, because even though I can't move my body to distract from that voice in my head, that voice in my head is now becoming my body. So, oh yeah, I just went on a philosophical, metaphoric, just...
How important do you think that is for the healing process, the power of positivity?
It's
and
everything.
It is, huh?
It's everything. Once you realize, I mean, I knew I was a dumb jock. Like, like literally, I still don't have a full college education, but I feel like I've learned more with this injury and this recovery than anything. And the biggest thing that I realize is spinal fluid and gray matter. We all have that. You have it, I have it, everyone has it. And what gray matter is the potential of anything and everything. That blew my mind. As the spinal cord swelling goes down, the more spinal fluid gets bigger, which explains why when you're paralyzed, there's less of the potential. And then I get obsessed with space, because what's dark matter? It's the same thing. It's the same thing, just on a spatial level that no one can really comprehend because they're too busy with their stupid bodies. That's distracting their thoughts. So, yeah.
I love the spiritual journey that you went on after the accident.
I'm still on it, man. It's awesome. It's so awesome.
A lot of people don't think this could happen in this sport.
No, especially baseball, softball. That's why I switched to play softball from soccer, as it was safer. And the irony is that's when I know life. We think that we determine our paths, but it's God that determines our steps. It really is. It really, really is. And like, I tried to avoid a broken neck that I didn't even know was going to happen. And I played the safest sport. I could have played golf. Like, that's how ridiculous it is. I probably would have broke it somehow.
The old saying, you make plans and God laughs. So
yeah, literally.
Now, what are you doing to inspire other people? I see so many people writing you on Instagram and leaning on you for courage and bravery. What's kind of like your mission now? What's kind of you feel like is the next chapter in your life?
So I'm going to be 25 in June. My generation, give or take 5 or 10 years up and down, I want to just change the way that we think, because I was your typical millennial. Like, I'm talking, had her butt wiped on a full scholarship, going to St. Joe's. I mean, everything was perfect. I never really had to face a hardship, like physically. And I realized after my accident that not only was I like that, but that's the normalcy. That's normal. And when someone breaks their neck, all of a sudden everyone wants to know you and talk to you. And I thought, why is it in like Bible times, like when I'm reading the Old Testament, why is it when there's a broken someone or a diseased someone, no one wants to be near them? So why is it now in our day and age when it's the same thing, except everyone wants to be drawn near? And it's because everyone is so removed from what I believe in, the story of like Jesus or what anyone believes in, that suffering story, and then the relief in knowing there's something bigger. That's what I think people are they're craving.
The rise from the phoenix.
Yes.
I like that. Listen, but it takes a lot of mental strength to turn a negative situation and see the positive in it, or know that sometimes it takes the worst to get the best.
Especially when you look at a body part that you've been moving since you can remember.
Of course.
And you're trying to move and it doesn't move.
You look in like impeccable shape right now, like you're about to be like a fitness.
This is recent. So have you ever heard of Barwis?
Yeah, great facility.
That's
in
where
Deerfield.
I've been going for.
Oh, they must be kicking your butt.
Me yoked.
Oh, so you're working with the professionals?
Oh,
no, they're great over
I'm
there.
with all the NFL Combine guys over there. They are no joke.
Getting back into sports, are you going to play again? Is that the goal?
That was the goal, and it still is the goal. And I think this summer might be it. I think I'm going to play some church league. I'll just rip on everyone there.
Didn't you like bat like over 900?
Yes,
like,
which isn't even a thing. Like, how is that even? That's why I was so good. I didn't care. I didn't care. It was like playing backyard wiffle ball. I grew up on a 7-acre chicken farm in the middle of Massachusetts. We owned a gas station.
Did you have brothers or sisters?
6. There's 6 of us.
So you guys had like you could pretty much fill a whole team.
Yes, and my older sister, Celtics cheerleader. other sister on the U.S. women's national team roster, 2 brothers Marine
I
engineers.
might need some of your DNA and blood.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking for someone. But that's what I'm saying is, like, we got to fight to the chicken coop to see who could get the most eggs in the morning. You know what I mean?
So
like
you've always kind of came from a competitive background?
Oh, yeah. Oh, so competitive. And funny. Oh, my gosh. My siblings are just the sense of humor is out, just unreal. And that's healing. That is so healing, is laughter.
The best medicine.
It's universal.
It's the best medicine.
No matter what language we're speaking, I can tell if someone's happy or sad. I think that's one of the coolest things about human beings.
A lot of teams wanting you to coach, get in there and helping these girls how to hit properly.
So many teams, yeah, so many teams. Oh, yeah, I forgot to answer your question anyways. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing is trying to just instill everything I've learned.
You could run right now and everything?
Running, with my brace on, I can actually run, but without it, that's what I'm trying to get. It's that drop foot. It's like walking with a giant flipper on. It's
and
weird.
That was all part of the whole accident.
Yeah, and this hand's like a little weird. I don't really open it that much, which Barwis would be mad at me if I wasn't. Yeah, I'm trying to get this, and I have some bladder issues, so I won't pee on your seat or anything. But
wow, all from a slide, and it's crazy how the spine is connected to so many body parts and all the effects.
Then they went right in the front, and
that scars from the surgery.
Yeah,
I didn't know they had to go through the front like that.
Yeah, me neither. I was like, what are you going through there for? I'm gonna wake up sound like Morgan Freeman. All my vocal cords are right there.
Well, you made a way more than a full recovery, and like I said, I think a lot of it has to do with your mental attitude.
100%.
Reading the article when you got the prognosis and you said, no, that's not going to be. You just basically weren't accepting that.
No, because it's like, I mean, honestly, look, put yourself into my shoes right now. Like, just drop everything, who you are, your life. I don't really know you, but if all of a sudden you were incapable of being independent, and then having some guy with gray hair and a white coat tell you without even knowing you. It's like me saying, hey, you're never...
They don't know your drive. They don't know what you're made out of.
They don't know, they don't know that potential of everything, yet they know it so well, but only in a destructive way. And that's what blew my mind. So now all my friends in the spinal cord injury community, the amputees, the strokes, everyone, traumatic brain injuries, that is like my pregame, playlist, just talking to them, because it's the ones who aren't positive are the ones who aren't doing well. And it's so evident. So evident.
You writing a book, going on tour, speaking engagements?
That's all I've been doing is speaking engagements, and it's been amazing. I have just recently, so 3 years into it, so it's going to be 5 years in April, met up with the shortstop who I hit. We're now working together. She moved down here with me.
You had no animosity towards her, right?
No. And
it's a freak accident.
That's what I said. But what I didn't know is she held on to so much survivor's guilt. And I felt like a dickwad because I was, here I am recovering, physically and just so into this. And she's sending me letters, throughout the 3 years. And I'm like, that's so nice. I'm talking to my spinal cord injury friends. So one of my friends, right, Meredith coach, what up? She got a piano dropped on her, like a literal
I thought that only happens in cartoons.
So she's funny. Her hashtag is end piano violence. She's hysterical.
That's funny.
My point is I'm like, Meredith, whose piano was that? It was her good friends. They're not friends anymore. Stop talking. I talked to all these people, and I'm like, so now I fly headfirst into some girl's knee, and she hasn't literally stopped supporting me since. I was like, I should probably meet her again. April 18th, 2018, 3-year anniversary, which is symbolic. I was number 3. She was number 3. We get to know it. She looks like my sister. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. We meet up. It's pouring, raining. The whole field is tarped. And if you knew me, I wanted to get there to meet her and to see where my feet left. I wanted to see where my last steps were taken. And God covered it. God was like, nope, nothing to see here. Nope.
Don't move on, right?
Yes.
It's a sign.
That's what I said to her. I turned to her and I was bawling. I said, I'm sorry. I'm so emotional. And she was like, no, I'm sorry. And I was like, why are you sorry? And we were just being a bunch of girls. And anyways, it came to the point where I said, do you know God? Do you know him? Do you know him? And that's when we got talking. And I told her exactly what I told you. And she had this kind of realization. And we've been working together ever since.
That's fascinating.
Unreal.
That's special. That's special.
It's
because a lot of people
divine.
hold grudges, and it goes back to your mental attitude and
That's what she was saying.
and how you deal with situations. That's why I wanted to bring you on the show, because a lot of viewers and listeners are dealt with tough times, not as tough as what you had to do physically.
Every situation is just,
of course,
uniquely sucks, you know. And once people can realize what's the same thing in every scenario is what I said. We have this voice talking in our heads all day, every day. Just like as I talk to you, you're probably like, what is this sitting in front of me? That's the voice that would still be talking if you were paralyzed and if I was talking to you at the side of your hospital bed.
Don't stop talking. Don't stop talking. We're talking with Bella Picard. She's a D1, probably the best athlete softball player in college, and just dominating on the diamond, and had an unfortunate accident. And, you know, like we said, you could go down a really negative, bad road and blame yourself, and you could turn to drugs or alcohol and give up on life. Why me? Why me?
Mm-hmm.
Or you go down the road. It happened for a reason. I'm sure you kind of look at that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I think of a reason every day why it happened.
And are they positive?
Yes.
That's fascinating to me.
Yes. The fact that I even know, like, the phases of the moon is because I broke my neck because I never could stand still enough to look up until I was in a wheelchair and literally had to be reclined backwards to look.
You start seeing things differently. Wow.
Oh, everything's so much bigger and better and beautiful. Why be miserable when you're in a miserable situation?
How can people see that without having tragedy happen to them?
Oh, I love that. Empathy. No one really has it anymore. No one has it anymore. One of the reasons why I love the story of I always say Jesus just because like someone likes Buddha, like someone likes whoever. I just like it. Is they say, like, in the Bible, it's like people would look at Jesus and be like, who? What the heck is that? Like, because he carried the burden of people's just sadness and sin. And no one can really do that anymore. I mean, meet someone and just feel that. It's because technology is gratifying. It's just, boom.
We're a microwave society.
Yes. So it's hard.
Quick fix America, I call us.
So if you sit down and talk with me, like, any millennial, so you say nothing bad has ever happened. I just had a great talk with some Instagram model 2 weeks ago. She didn't know who I was. I didn't know who she was. We bumped into each other. And she said to me at the end of the conversation in tears, you never know who you're talking to. Because she was trying to give me some sob story about something. And, you know, I wasn't trying to even talk about my story. And it came up. And my whole point is if you just talk to me, you find empathy with just listening and being still and not looking at something. We don't realize how not plugged in we are. So I take in the light every day. I take in the sun like I'm a solar panel, and I just want people to plug into me.
I love that.
Just want them to plug in. That's all. Sorry.
They're trying to plug. Sports to me, I love sports. I coach sports with my two sons.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've played youth sports my whole life. I was never blessed with the gift to, you know, make it a career like yourself, but life lessons that are learned in sports, from working as a team, taking direction from a coach, overcoming adversity. To me, there's nothing better in sports that you could utilize in everyday life. You could be a better business person. You could be a better partner to your significant other.
Absolutely.
I think just so many life lessons come from sports. I think you'd agree as well. I'm sure you've learned so many.
I may be biased, but the game of baseball, softball, can teach a kid more about failure than any game there is. Who the heck plays a game where you strike out literally 7 times out of 10 and you're still doing all right?
That still will boggle my mind more than anything. That a 300 batting average is great. It's just crazy to me. 3 out of 10.
So that's why when I had that 902 average my junior year, keep in mind I was like a Flintstone. I was like, give me a freaking stick. I'll just hit it. Because I thought it was fun. I thought it was hysterical. That it was this big, giant yellow thing. I was so new to the game. 902, and I'll never forget Ralph Raymond, God rest his soul. He was the Olympic coach for the softball team. He said to me, Belle, he called me Pigpen. He goes, Pigpen, you can't even do that off of a tee. And I didn't even put that into perspective of the odds of where the ball falls. You can hit the ball.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you could be smacking the ball, but flyouts, line drives, you're getting on base.
Exactly. So I always say to people, I love that you say that. That's why I love sports, is it teaches kids how to deal with real life crap before they even know what real life is.
I'm glad that you see that, and I encourage viewers and listeners to, if you have children, get them in youth sports. Team sports is important.
Yes.
I think the individual sports are cool. I like tennis, karate, gymnastics, but the team sports, you get people from different demographics, different races coming together, working together. And like you said, you learn so many life lessons.
Oh my gosh, to fail? I mean, to be...
Well, I think you learn more. If you're just winning, you don't learn. But I think when you lose, you learn more, right?
And that's why I love baseball is there's so many opportunities. There's so many battles within the game.
Because there's losses in the game, right?
Yes, and that's what I love. And I always tell people I would have yellow teeth right now if I didn't play softball because I would have given up brushing my teeth. Till this day, I drop my toothbrush. Till this day, it's annoying, but I put it back in my right hand because it's like swinging and missing, except I can't get out because I need these white.
You're beautiful inside and out.
Oh, thanks.
What's some of this ink represent? Was that the day of the accident?
This is the day. That's the day of the accident. I got like half of these in a basement in Philly, so Philly did me dirty. But yeah, this is the story of my accident that I'm not gonna tell anyone until they'll figure it out. You know what I mean? They'll figure it out.
The arrows and the dots there?
Yeah, that's like a hieroglyphic story of my accident. This means light in Hebrew. I really got into Hebrew after my accident, because I'm like, if that's the origin of everything, and if that is the meaning of everything, let's close the circle on the whole millennial thing. That's why I feel like millennials are so lost, is there's no meaning anymore behind words. I mean, lit.
I don't say the word lit, but maybe I'll try it this week.
But that's my point.
I'm not down with the millennial words. The interns here, they tell me fleek and lit.
I sound so stupid when I say it. I'm like, that is fleeky. Like, I don't know how to make it cool. But that's why I got into it. I got it tattooed on me. And, all my ideas and my thoughts just right here, ready to grab.
Well, you are definitely an inspiration. I know ESPN's done so many stories on you, and with you and Allie, and following you.
Yeah.
And listen, I think we love to promote women in sports. I think it's been growing so much more than ever. And, to see someone dealt with this horrible accident, freak accident, and
such a freak accident.
And to me, it's such an inspiration. I mean, if something like that happened to me, I would gain 500 pounds and just give up on life. I'd just be like, I'm done. Like, you were the best. And to have that happen to you I can't believe that you are smiling and joking and
because life is just such a...
People are complaining about the minor, such minor things and stressing over the worst things.
Letting it take over their entire day when they don't even realize that there is an entire system, the sun, the moon, the stars, working just to keep you stuck to this planet today.
I'm giving you some golden nuggets right here. Golden nugget. Share with our viewers and listeners, which you've been sharing this whole show. Golden nuggets of life, wisdom, words to live by.
Your feet will never head in any direction your mind wasn't already going. That's an important one to me.
Did you make up that quote?
I heard it in a song, I think, actually.
That's a good one.
Yeah, your feet will never head in any direction your mind was not already going.
I feel like definitely the power of the mind and everything you shared with me is really realizing how important. I think when people are getting ill or sick and they, and they're negative and they're stressed, it's just going to add to it. But when you're positive and have a good outlook, I feel like you could heal physically and mentally.
Exactly. It's like that. This is the engine. And if people understand that the tires can squeak, AKA our emotions or whatever, put some oil in this thing, AKA use it. Your whole car starts to move again. Everything starts. You just need an oil change. Just get in a meditation slip or something.
Love the advice. I love the nuggets. You keep those.
Thanks.
Share some more nuggets with more people. Hey, it's a little gift. We got more, and you're giving us a gift just coming on this show. So we appreciate
it.
We appreciate your time, and like I said, you're such an inspiration. And after reading and hearing your story, I was literally heartbroken. I'm like, wow, this woman is the best softball player in college baseball and softball, just dominating. The numbers are through the roof, breaking records, and then for this to happen to you. Do they have video of the accident? Do you ever watch it?
Unfortunately, that is nowhere to be found for some reason.
It's probably better that way.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Probably better that way.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that you had no animosity towards the knee that hit you, and that you embraced her, because obviously there was no ill intention
She's
there.
my best friend now.
Wow.
And if you were to tell me that 5 years ago, I'd punch you right in the face, because I'd say, what kind of sick, twisted world is that? And she is we call each other our life teammates now, is because I've never had such a just supporter. And we've like literally just last night, we'll look at each other and be like, wait, why are we in the same house? Like you fall into these trances, but it's, hey, keep your mind good and you'll literally go good places.
The power of positivity and keeping your mind healthy and right. So this is the great, great advice, and what a story. I can't wait to see kind of like your next chapter in your life. I know you're going to do so many amazing things.
I'm right in the middle of it too, like transitioning.
You're not sharing all your things you got coming up. I need you to tell all. This is a tell all.
Well, that's the thing. So I just like established my individual LLC. Allie just did hers. So we're trying to put together some, working together thing, and then have our own separate thing. So that's literally like I just got my LLC in the mail like last week. So that's why emailing with Ryan, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like
timing, right?
Basically just want to hold workshops. That's what I really want to do, is hold workshops. Like right now, really, really, really quick. Put your hand down.
Hand is down.
Curl in your middle finger.
Middle finger is in.
Okay, now ready?
I'm ready.
I want you to move this as high as you can. Go. That's what it feels like.
Oh my God! Look, I think I got it up like, and not even a down. Nothing, barely there.
So that is what my whole body felt like.
No.
And that is kids need to learn and feel that.
Oh, that is painful, mentally and physically. Oh.
Frustrated. I see you.
You survived that.
Right?
You're a fighter.
It gets me amped up. It gets me going, because I want people to feel that and know that feeling that you just felt right there. Imagine being stuck in it, and that's your life. And then why would you keep thinking about it? That's terrible. You got to think the opposite of it. And that's how I started moving again.
You are a fighter and survivor. I'm literally hurt. I'm a wuss. Wow. You are tough.
So, but it's not me. It's everyone. It's energy. I believe God is everywhere. He's here between you and me. And his light made you, and his light made me. We're just light beings. Like we're just, I get excited. Talk golden to me. I mean, come on, like get me on this podcast. Let's go.
We need you. We're sharing golden nuggets. And you say here, you said, I think nature heals. Follow the journey and you'll see. That's a quote by you.
Yeah. I'm very into mushroom, growing my own plants. I'm very into, because my whole mindset after I realized that voice thing, so I'm going to take it back, is if I were in the wild right now, like if I were like, and this might be my Neanderthal showing because I just took my 23andMe, I'm wicked Neanderthal. I was like, I would have no other choice but to move or get eaten. I mean, I would have to crawl. And I just remember thinking that and saying, well, what would help me not be in pain? Hemp. Okay, I could grow hemp. Okay, what would make me expand these mushrooms? And I just got on this that's how I've been healing. I have not had one pharmaceutical.
All natural?
All natural. I have not done this literally in the hospital. Not one opiate, not one.
They weren't shoving pain pills down your mouth?
They tried, but I unfortunately was a little bit abusive towards them before my accident, which I thank God till this day that my coaches said something. And my parents knew too. My dad said, don't you even dare. And the doctors were like, what are you? Like, you're trying to make your child suffer. And, so till this day, I just, and it's so much, talk about a high. Like being able to feel it lift off just with natural things, and then being like, whoa, I did that. That's myself. Like, I'm not scared. I'm not looking for anything to help it. That was me. And that's empowering. That's so empowering knowing that we can naturally do it.
I love that. Cool. I'm such a big proponent of natural approaches to health, especially here in Florida. The opioid, the pill mills, that's all they do is to shove these pills, and they get addicted. I mean, so many people lives have been lost from it.
I have a lot of my friends, I know. And it bothers me, especially at the college level of Do you know how many college athletes that we're watching on TV right now who are doped up on perks right now? Probably, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I'd say about 30% of them. And it makes me mad, and that's what me and Allie are trying to do too, is whether I do this on
Well, they don't let you take a lot of the natural remedies as well.
No,
though.
I got drug tested when I was in at St. Joe's freshman year, and I got a warning for too much coffee, too much caffeine in my pee. I was like,
I think they're starting to push for the medical marijuana for athletes.
They need to, because I'll tell you one thing. I hate when I point. I don't mean to point. I just get really into it.
I like it.
I think that that's a whole environment change. I think that any injured athlete should not be sat on a bench in a uniform on opiates watching the underclassmen play in their position that they want to rush to get back to. I think, do you understand what I mean? So I think me and Allie want to change that. I've reached out to the NCAA multiple times and said, hey, I would love to work on a substance abuse program with you guys because yours sucks. You know, and I genuinely I didn't know about a substance abuse program when I was in college. I didn't know about one.
But now they have topicals. I mean, they could grow marijuana specifically for a certain ailment.
Yes, that's what I do in Massachusetts because it's legal up there. That's all I do is grow and make my own strains.
The mushrooms you were talking about, are those psychedelic?
The psilocybin, I learned how to move differently every time I tried it for the first time.
Break that down for me. So what, is it just opening up a part of your brain that you're not using? Endorphins
Ego goes away.
All right, so ego's gone.
Ego, and when I mean ego, I mean you're not even worried about a piece of wind blowing in the wrong direction to make you look weird. I mean, you are a part of everything. You feel everyone, everything. Like, you know, if I'm having I microdose, I never want to like trip balls or anything. I get to a point where my foot feels like a rubber flipper because that feels different than nothing. So remember I said to you, it feels like I have like a scuba diver flipper on? I only can even create that thought because of the experience of microdosing and just rehabbing. And you just feel, like when I talk to my mother, I can like feel and smell her pheromones. Like, I'm not kidding, it's weird. Like, I'm just like, come here, I just need to kiss you, come here. Like, I just want to be wrapped up in her, and it's just love, it's just light, it's just anything you're scared of. It's like with a regular mind, like not on, like having psilocybin, it's like this, there's a wall. On the psilocybin, it's like, no, there's this path, there's that path, there's that path. It's just so healing and enlightening. And I've had friends in the spinal cord injury community because of me, like, you gotta try it, in their wheelchairs. And they'll just start to transfer themselves out of their wheelchair onto their bed just because of the confidence of, I'm not gonna fall. I have strength in my arms. And I'm a paraplegic, but I have strength in my arms. And it's just this ego is gone. And that's why I am so passionate about psilocybin.
Egos.
I hate them too. I have none. I have
Who knew
zero.
psilocybin was the cure of all ego?
Oh, it is. I'm telling you, it is cure for a lot, for a
Wow.
lot.
Now, but that's something that's illegal, though, correct?
Technically, but I mean, I know like up north. I'm new down here, so I have access to nothing. But like up north, it's very popular. Like I'm talking Rhode Island. There's a lot of like farms and stuff. So
And you figured out how to grow it perfectly, so you're not.
yeah,
And
it's all
like-
from my own hands, my own dirt. I literally go to my cousin's house because we all live on the same land, take a handful of chicken shit, thank you, walk away, go to the garden, throw it in there. I mean, it's nice. And it's also nice to nurture a life after your life has been nurtured for so long and you feel so helpless. I mean, there's nothing I always tell people is when a nurse would, you know, change my diaper or something, and I can't even stand up to hug you. Like, this is so cute. Like, oh my gosh. It's that I still hold on to in that aspect of nurturing a plant. It's like, that plant can't get up and hug me, but I, AKA the nurse, got to see me grow, AKA the plant. So it's like, I don't know, I like it.
The circle, I like that as well.
Exactly.
Well, you are intriguing, you are inspiring. I could just go on and on with the adjectives that I think of when I speak to you and I meet you, and I'm going to break down that map on your finger after the show. I think I have an idea
Yes, I'm excited.
of the meaning of it, but I'm going to be following you.
Sweet.
I'm going to be supporting you,
I appreciate that.
and anything you need that I could do to help you on your journey, your mission, I'm here for you. Like I said, I love, you see, I watch sports.
Yeah,
I
I
love
love
sports. I love coaching sports, and I know what comes from sports.
I
There's
can
the
tell.
good.
I can tell
there's
you
the
do.
bad. There's friendships. There's bonds forever. There's people that will remember their coaches forever. And
Right.
like I said, life lessons are learned
Yeah.
on those fields. I'm sure you probably miss so much of just the locker room or the bus rides. Probably
Bus
the best
rides.
memories of your life.
I was the gassiest teammate.
You're just so special to me because most women are so.
Oh, I know.
They're just so. I don't know what the word is, but they're fake. They're fake.
Ego.
And that
Because
is.
they have an ego. I'm trying to find a husband that just takes me for who I am. Just take me with all my flaws, with all my. You
You're
know
gonna
what
have
I
a lot
mean?
of suitors reaching you after
Hey,
this show.
I've been trying. All right, Barwist. It's like guys.
You must be getting hit on 24/7 there.
I don't know if I am or not. I'm obviously like oblivious.
You are a little intimidating though, because you're like you're a strong woman.
I know, but then you meet me and I'm like a teddy bear.
All right, you're probably gonna get a bunch of DMs after the show. Follow her on Instagram, everyone. It's Isabella Picard. She's an awesome follow. She's always updating her story as well, and
Oh yeah.
posting just so many great things. I think you could learn life lessons. You've probably had someone that's done you wrong. Someone did her wrong to the worst, and look, they're best friends now. So
Like, I couldn't imagine my life without her today.
yeah, I hope we just learn lessons, about don't sweat the small. It's just all the same cliche stuff, but a lot of it's easier said than done. I think everyone knows
They
the
do.
right road, but it's doing. It's actions speak louder than words. So let's start acting. Let's spread our kindness. And look, I always say it's cool to be kind,
It is though.
coolest.
It's the coolest. Cool to pee your pants.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. Like I said, I'll be supporting you. Viewers and listeners,
Appreciate it.
if you're watching this episode, give it a like, give it a share, subscribe to the show, follow her on Instagram. Just promote the program. It helps us bring on awesome guests like Bella, my new friend here. So
Absolutely.
true inspiration. You are an amazing woman. You are a fighter. You are a survivor. And
Thank you.
I'm going to be, I
appreciate you.
I'm inspired. I'm fired up now.
Yeah, let's go.
And when I hear people complain about stuff, I just want to be like, go Google Bella Picard, right?
Go Google Bella. Just go
Google
Google her.
Bella.
It's true though. I appreciate that. Though.
Likewise.
Thank you.
You were a treat. You were a true pleasure. Thank you again for joining us. We are out of here. Thank you for listening and joining us on another episode of the Talk Golden to Me video podcast show. Your host, Evan Golden, Golden TV here at the studios in the Berman Law Group. Bella, we got to get out of here. Give him one flex.
Sweet.
Show him that bicep. That thing is just massive.
Bodies by Megan.
Damn, she don't mess around. Bye-bye.
Bye.